that? Nope. Oh, it's right there. I knew I had to have it.
Is it on? Yes, it's happening.
Still have my. Why is it not turning off? Why is it not turning off? Yeah, long enough.
Yeah.
Is off now. It's on. Is that better hum wise? Testing for a hum. You still hear the hum out there? Check, check. Okay, no humming. Okay. We've had the wedge in there a little bit. Beyond's a religion which, like sunshine, goes everywhere. Its temple, all space, its shrine, the good heart, its creed, all truth, its ritual works of love.
Thank you, Malcolm. Come into our house of hope and love, peace and justice, and the hum that's in the background of this microphone. I didn't think we needed extra energy today, but I guess it is to be empowered.
Try talking.
Thank you,
again.
Matthew.
No.
You know what? I'm going to let Matthew work for a second, and I'm going to use my come into our house of hope and love, peace, justice, wholeness, and healing. We welcome the certain and the seeking, the lifers and the newcomers, the beloved and the brokenhearted, all of whom can find a home in our community, Throop Unitarian Universalist Church, where we go love the world from the heart of Pasadena. In this transition point between winter and spring, we are reflecting on what nourishes us and what helps us keep love at the center of our daily interactions with self and with other. Today, our focus turns to our spiritual home and the justice statement we are making by gathering together in this space. On Sunday, March 30th, after service, you will have an excellent opportunity to enrich the bonds of our spiritual home and participate in justice within our own community by attending our Trans Ally Group panel, which will be held after service in the Colic Lounge. It will be led by members of our trans community here at Throop, and it will be an opportunity to get to know each other better, learn more about trans issues and trans rights, and how to be allies to the trans community during this fraught time. Again, that's Sunday, March 30th after service. Finally, if you are new to Throop, we would love to stay in touch. You can fill out an info card found in the pew and give it to an usher later in the worship service or leave it on the back table. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Each one of us is a light in the world, and the flame from our chalice symbolizes and reflects that light.
Our time together in worship is intimately connected with our daily lives. As a symbol of that connection, we light our chalice with a flame from our candles of hope and witness. In an age of separation and distrust, we have chosen to gather. We have chosen the hard road of relationship, knowing the temporary discomfort of strangers precedes the caring trust of friends. We light a second candle to honor the people and ancestors whose lands we now occupy. The land under and around Throop is the unceded land of the Gabrielino Tongva Band of Mission Indian people. May this knowledge and awareness lead us into dismantling systems of supremacies and oppressions. We light a third candle symbolizing our watershed, the Arroyo Seco. May their waters continue to nourish life in our communities. We take a moment of silence, holding all of these in our hearts. And if you'll please stand for our opening hymn, hymn number 347, Gather the Spirit.
Spirit, harvest the power of separate fires will kindle one flame. Witness the mystery of this hour. Our trials in this light appear all the same. Gather in peace, gather in thanks, gather in sympathy now and then. Gather in hope, compassion, and strength. Gather to celebrate once again. Gather the spirit of heart and mind. Seeds for the sowing are laid in store. Nurtured in love and a conscience refined. A body and spirit united once more. Gather in peace, gather in thanks, gather in sympathy now and then. Gather in hope, compassion, and strength. Gather to celebrate once again.
Time to hang out with each other.
Gather the Spirit growing in all, drawn by the moon and fed by the sun, winter to spring and summer to fall, the chorus of life sounding as one. Gather in peace, gather in thanks, gather in sympathy now and then, gather in hope, compassion and strength, gather to celebrate once. Gather in peace, gather in thanks, gather in sympathy now and then, gather in hope, compassion and strength, gather to celebrate once again.
Thank you, everyone. Hello, my name is Nick D'Augusto. I'm the intern minister. Yep. I'm going to do this. Hold on one second. I'm just going to imagine I'm in some piano parlor with lots of smoke around me. And do a jazz style. Thank you, Malcolm is the best! So I was talking about going to church today. My name is Nick D'Augusto. I'm the intern minister here at Throop. My pronouns are he, him. I'm a white, cishet, endosex male. I'm endosex because I'm not intersex. And I'm 6'1", slender, and I'm wearing a gray shirt and navy pants. If you would, please join me in reciting the Throop Promise to Our Planet found in your orders of worship. As members of the family of living beings on earth, we are guided by the Unitarian Universalist principle of respect for the interdependent web of all existence of which we are a part. With hearts filled with love for it, eyes nurtured by its beauty, and minds ruminating on ways to protect its sacred and scarce resources, we promise to nurture the well-being of all life and of the planet itself.
Our responsive reading today is titled Our Land by the great early 20th century African-American writer and activist, Langston Hughes. The congregational response is, the possibility of hope rises. Can we try that once together? The possibility of hope rises. We should have a land of sun, of gorgeous sun, and a land of fragrant water, where the twilight is a soft bandana handkerchief of rose and gold, and not this land, where life is cold. The possibility of hope rises. We should have a land of trees, of tall, thick trees, bowed down with chattering parrots, brilliant as the day, and not this land where birds are gray. The possibility of hope rises. Ah, we should have a land of joy, of love and joy, and wine and song, and not this land where joy is wrong. The possibility of hope arises.
If you'll please join me in singing the children out to the children's program.
For you shall go out in joy, for you shall go out in joy, and come back in peace, and come back in peace. For you shall go out in joy, for you shall go out in joy, and come back in peace, and come back in peace. Blessed be.
This church is our church. We support it through our gifts of time, our gifts of talent, and our gifts of treasure. You can give online. The directions are in the order of worship, or place your gift in the offering plate. If you are a first-time visitor, please let the offering plate pass you by. Thank you for supporting our life together. The offering will now be gratefully received.
Far beyond the grasp of hands, for light to meet the eye, past the reaches of the mind. There find the key to nature's harmony, in architecture so entwined. Like the birds whose patterns grace the sky, and carry all who join in love expanding. The message of peace will rise in flight, taking the weight of the world upon its wings. In the oneness of everything.
Peace is in the dance of trees, who stir before the first breath of wind is yet perceived. Trust in the song becoming one with the dance, and all mysteries can be believed. Songs of lives long past that touch our own are written in the earth ever giving, and now to maintain the harmony gives to us all lives worth living, for the oneness of everything. Still we seek to find a truth that we might understand and reduce to terms divine. Vast and unmeasurable time and space, also overwhelmingly designed. Oh, passing years just might I know the faith that winters in the heart to be reborn in spring, to hear and to feel the pulse of life enters my soul as a song to sing of the oneness of everything.
In a spirit of gratitude, we lift up our thanks to those supporting our worship service today: Jamal, our live stream operator; Taryn, our lay reader; Faith with the children's program; Teresa and Chris, our greeters and ushers; Tom, our coffee and conversation host; Malcolm and the choir on music; Fillory for administrative support, and Reverend Tara for her guidance and care. As we pause in recognition for all the ways we support our Throop community life, say with me the words in your order of service: with gratitude for the ministries of the church that hold us and embolden us to love the world, we bless our offering and the many gifts we share. Sorry, our centering hymn is How Could Anyone, number 1053.
How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul.
How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul.
How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. How could anyone fail to? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul.
This moment is an opportunity for merging into one's present self, into one's body, a little check-in, a deeper breath, meditation in the style of your preference. For those of you who might want something to ponder, when has conflict entered your life and led to some form of regret? When has conflict entered your life and fostered in you new growth, or engendered a new understanding between you and a loved one?
Let it go, my love, my truest. Let it sail on silver wings. Life's a twinkling, that's for certain, but it's such a fine thing. There's a gathering of spirits, there's a festival of friends, and we'll take up where we left off when we all meet again. I can't explain it, I couldn't if I tried. How the only things we carry are the things we hold inside, like a day in the open, like the love we won't forget, like the laughter that we started and it hasn't died down yet. Let it go, my love, my truest. Let it sail on silver wings. Life's a twinkling, that's for certain, but it's such a fine thing. There's a gathering of spirits, there's a festival of friends, and we'll take up where we left off when we all meet again. Oh yeah, didn't we? Don't we make it shine? Aren't we standing in the center of something rare and fine? Some glow like embers, or light through colored glass. Some give it all in one great flame, throwing kisses as they pass. Let it go, my love, my truest. Let it sail on silver wings. Life's a twinkling, that's for certain, but it's such a fine thing. There's a gathering of spirits, there's a festival of friends, and we'll take up where we left off when we all meet again. Just east of Eden, but there's heaven in our midst, and we're never really all that far from those we love and miss. Wade out in the water, there's a glory all around, and the wisest say there's 1,000 ways to kneel and kiss the ground. Let it go, my love, my truest. Let it sail on silver wings. Life's a twinkling, that's for certain, but it's such a fine thing. There's a gathering of spirits, there's a festival of friends, and we'll take up where we left off when we all meet again. And we'll take up where we left off when we all meet again.
You've chosen to be here. I've yet to meet a Unitarian Universalist who felt guilted into showing up at church on a Sunday. Does anyone, am I wrong? Does anyone feel guilted to be here? Any raised hands? See what I'm saying? We're a chosen family. We choose to be here, and we can come and go freely. Why come to this church? Here's some of what we know Unitarian Universalism is striving to be: equitable and inclusive. Every person should have the right to flourish with inherent dignity and worthiness. And pluralistic. We celebrate our free and responsible search for truth and meaning. We don't come here because of a deistic fear. Our Universalist roots, of which this church is a testament, originally the first Universalist parish, Pasadena, ensured for us that we would not be a people that lived in fear of a malicious divine entity. We don't believe in a hell. We don't believe in a capricious God who is watching over our shoulder, picking and choosing who is punished and who is absolved. We are here, I believe, because we want the ability to gather in a community of like-minded people where all of us, regardless of race, gender, background, economic status, disability, appearance, or theological point of view, can embody our true, authentic, vulnerable selves. And this idea means more to me now than it's ever meant in my lifetime. I naively never foresaw a day when American civil rights would begin to recede rather than expand for the vulnerable members of our population. But that's what's happening. Now more than ever, it is imperative that this church space be a microcosm of the world we want to live in. Our support for reproductive, immigration, BIPOC, and trans, non-binary, and queer rights, we can't magically alter the national landscape. But we can demonstrate our support for these loved ones in our relationships here. Two simple things. We can ask people what's on their minds and hearts and truly offer them the presence of empathically listening to their concerns, even if those concerns make us feel uncomfortable or afraid. It's much more uncomfortable and frightening for the person who's experiencing these threats. We can also respect what people's pronouns are, and that may mean asking for pronouns more than once because we make mistakes, and we sincerely want to get pronouns right because we genuinely want to honor everyone here for who they are. Those are the kinds of actions that foster a safe space, and this needs to be a loving and supportive space for all of us, no matter how you got here. For instance, you might have first walked in our door because you have a faith in God, but you wanted to worship in a construct that is more aligned with your ethical values. It might be because you wanted to be more active in movements for social change. It might be that you just moved to the area and you want to meet people. An entirely understandable reason for coming to a church. Whatever the case, at some point, you must have decided, or are in the process of deciding, that these people are close enough to your kind of people, and you are willing to give this community a shot. Toby Lowe from the Center for Public Impact defines community as a group of people who share an identity-forming narrative. Not everyone in our society has the impulse to seek out a diverse group of basically strangers where they can participate in and create an identity-forming narrative. It's awkward for a lot of people, especially today. And even though studies have proven that loneliness is an epidemic in this country, we hear that all the time now, right? And that loneliness is more dangerous for one's health than excessive smoking, excessive drinking, lack of exercise, and more. But there are a lot of communities we can find, right? For example, I'm in the community of Nebraska Cornhusker sports fans. I had some good years once. I'm also in a community of music nuts and gaming nerds I've known since I was a kid. You might be a seasoned subscriber to a performing arts center, a supporter of a local library or a food truck, a member of a unique group in an online space. Community is necessary to us all, and we can belong to many of them, and they can all feed us. But there are very few communities I'm in where I talk about my deepest hopes and fears or articulate the world I want my son to inherit when I'm gone. It's the reason I found myself back in a church community, and the pull was so strong and the benefits so real that I found myself called to leadership in it. Now, turning just a bit, to be clear, you don't need to own a building to be a church, or to take care of each other, or share joys, sorrows, and ideas with each other. But Throop is a privileged church community. Our congregation owns this building for as long as we can maintain it, and that gives us the privilege of constructing this space as we choose. It is a kind of home. The church is not our residence. We can't sleep here. It is our spiritual home. In this home, we pledge ourselves to certain Unitarian Universalist ethics and values. We hold ourselves to a high standard of loving communal conduct, and we have clear and conscientious ways that we make amends for breaches of that standard if and when it occurs. Not everyone can fit inside our circles of community, and that's okay. But everyone is welcome to try and to come and see what we offer. And this building and these gardens are reflections of what we offer. They are embodiments of our Throop beliefs, actions, and thoughts as of this present moment. We have the privilege as stewards to make the building and the garden symbols of the beliefs that we yearn to live into the world, symbols of our religious communion together. We get to use the building and the gardens as authentic expressions of our best and hopeful selves, and that is no small thing. Now, like a lot of homes, there's other family living here. And I don't know about you, but sometimes my family and I disagree. And I don't have exclusive rights to my home. I have to share my home with my family. I have to negotiate with my family. And inevitably, and really daily, I have to navigate conflict with my family in my home. Coming from my family of origin, I'm still learning how to truly embody this idea, but surprise, Nick, conflict isn't inherently bad. Priya Parker, in her book, The Art of Gathering, stresses that conflict unearths purpose. It is, in fact, through healthy conflict that we can show sides of each other without risk to our safety or career advancement. Controversy of the right kind can be clarifying. It can help you use gatherings to answer big questions. What do you want to do? What do you stand for? Who are you? This is the gift of a community that can act like a loving family. We can challenge each other in what should be a respectful and generous way, with different ideas, different priorities, different purposes, all in the service of growing our individual broad-mindedness and evolving for the betterment of our family unit as a whole. We should also be able to turn to our family for help, and I have seen that in such splendor in this community over the last couple of months. From Reverend Tara calling and leading a team to check in on every single person in this congregation, to how all of you, truly all of you, have stepped up in so many ways for each other. It's been inspiring and heartbreaking and beautiful to witness. This is a special community, and your bonds are deepening as you grow together through this conflict. Easy to miss in this growing together, however, is the difficult and necessary act many of you must take by willingly and openly offering your vulnerability. Priya Parker again. Being vulnerable with people makes them feel for you. Every time people gather, they are being brought into the opportunity to help one another, to do what they couldn't do or think up or heal alone. It is in gathering that we meet those who could help us, and too often it is in gathering that we pretend not to need them because we have it all figured out. Vulnerability implies revealing to others certain things we experience as sad or frightening or confusing. It can be very uncomfortable to show our vulnerability, and it's scary to risk burdening other people with it. I feel vulnerable when I mispronounce someone, for instance, and I'm scared of hurting all kinds of people for all kinds of reasons. But as far as I can tell, the only way to get over that is just by talking to people, being forthcoming, and letting them know you're willing to make honest mistakes in the hopes of being in a deeper relationship with them. And this church should be the kind of place where we can take those kinds of chances. Unitarian Universalism, under the new Article 2 value of justice, has embraced the concept of the beloved community, made famous by the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King. Its pillars are inclusivity, shared power, mutual compassion, respect of difference, and a commitment to institutional transformation. We gather together here in part to pledge ourselves to the pursuit of this radical act of equality. We are making a statement with our presence. Anyone, literally anyone, is my equal here, is my known community, and I will share space with them as a testament to my values in life, which do not place my inherent worth and dignity above others. We are not the same, and we don't and can't possibly agree on everything. Solidarity, not consensus. Equality, not sameness. And we're not static. Our membership shifts and changes. Our leadership shifts and changes. What then do we all share in common? What binds all of this together? The more I reflect on it, the more I believe the foundation of Throop lies in our home. It's not the sum total of who we are, and our purpose can't be to make our home a mansion or a castle, nor can we forget that to live into our values authentically requires that we live them out into the world. And yet we have received, for no other reason than that we showed up here, the privilege of being caretakers of this beautiful historical space, these gorgeous, fertile grounds. What if fostering a thriving, beloved community here in this building was something we could see as a social justice statement in and of itself? What if modeling a flourishing and inclusive and self-sustaining community, which Throop is, but it's tenuous and it's easy to lose sight of? What if doing that within this building and these gardens was a value by which our core purpose could be guided? A social justice mission anchored in the idea of demonstrating why the outside world, this world of disruption and disconnect, would benefit from coming in here. Now, of course, the beloved community is not about a building and it is not about a garden. The beloved community is what we make together, how we help each other, celebrate each other, navigate conflict between each other, make amends, and forgive each other. Mark the years alongside each other, and that we do it in a diverse, multicultural, pluralistic, egalitarian, open, and welcoming space. We've got this amazing church. What does it provide for us? How does it make you feel when you step inside it? What would we lose if it wasn't here? Who would we be? What might others lose if it's not here to be found? Amen. Blessed be. If you could please stand for our closing hymn, The Fire of Commitment, number 1028. Green hymnal.
Guiding hands and hearts and spirits into faith set free from fear. When the fire of commitment sets our mind and soul ablaze, then our hunger and our passion meet to call us on our way. When we live with deep assurance of the flame that burns within, then our promise finds fulfillment and our future can begin. From the stories of our living brings a song both brave and free, calling pilgrims still to witness to the life of liberty. When the fire of commitment sets our mind and soul ablaze, when our hunger and our passion meet to call us on our way, when we live with deep assurance of the flame that burns within, then our promise finds fulfillment and our future can begin. From the dreams of youthful vision comes a new prophetic voice, which demands a deeper justice built by our courageous choice. When the fire of commitment sets our mind and soul ablaze, when our hunger and our passion meet to call us on our way, when
flames from our chalice and our candles are extinguished. Their light lives on in each of us, the flames binding our community as they empower us to reach toward justice. Go, live into yourself, and by doing so, inspire others to do the same.
Come sing a song with me. Come sing a song with me. Come sing a song with me, that I might know you're mine. And I'll bring you home when hope is hard to find. And I'll bring a song of love and a rose in the winter time. Come dream a dream with me. Come dream a dream with me. Come dream a dream with me, that I might know you're mine. And I'll bring you home when hope is hard to find. And I'll bring a song of love and a rose in the winter time. Come share a rose with me. Come share a rose with me. Come share a rose with me, that I might know you're mine. And I'll bring you home when hope is hard to find. And I'll bring a song of love and a rose in the winter time. And I'll bring you home when hope is hard to find. And I'll bring a song of love and a rose in the winter time.